Hello, I'm Diane Fields. Paul and I are here to talk about Bible study, and specifically we want to talk about Nativity Catholic Women's Bible Study here at Nativity. There are two things that brought me to Bible study, and I'll start with those thoughts. One is time, and the other is curiosity. I am a mother of 5. I have 9 grandchildren, and in 2013 I was totally retired, except for the 2 days that we had our grandchildren. But I had a day that I thought, I'm going to find something to do just for myself. So I saw an article in the bulletins, and the title of it was Courageous Women in the Bible. And that sounded interesting to me, and it sounded safe. And I say safe because I had previously tried a Bible study, but I was just so overwhelmed with it. I was not really comfortable with that Bible study. So I didn't continue, and I realized that I really don't want to put myself in a situation where people find out that what I don't know about the Bible. But this Bible study was different. I liked the idea that they chose topics, and that was an interesting year for me. I found that I was learning so much in Scripture, and that I just probably will always continue the Bible study. So let's talk about a little bit about our group. Our goals are to increase our knowledge in Scripture, to really grow in our Catholic faith, and to become closer to Jesus. And I learned on the Crescia weekend that study is really a very important part of growing in our faith, that if we want to continue to grow, we need to continue to study. I really didn't realize what the impact would have on me from studying Scripture and studying the Bible. I've come to have a greater understanding of what God's plan in my life is. And I just want to share that with other people. I've received the vocabulary, I've seen that plan that God has for us. So I think, as I said, I will always probably go to Scripture and want to learn more from Scripture. So Paula, how did you get involved in Bible study?
Well, I joined Nativity Parish in 2014. That spring I joined the Women's Bible Study. Mm-hmm. And I really liked it. I loved the format that you had set up. Mm-hmm. I wanted to continue doing Bible studies because it was just important to me. And I've learned a lot about everything we've done, and we've done 19 in the past 6 years. Yeah. But my very favorite of all was Quick Journey Through the Bible by Jeff Cavins. And this covers all of salvation history from Genesis to the establishment of the church. And there's a timeline that I just thought was so fantastic. Particularly for the Old Testament, because it's just so complicated, but it has all the Bible stories. We read 14 narrative Gospels, and it shows when things happened, what country they were in, who was in power, and it helped so much to organize it in my mind. And I think all of us thought this was fantastic. I've not mastered the whole thing, but I keep working on it. This is just a good foundation for any study that you do after it. And we thought it was so inspiring that we wanted new members that were joining us to have the benefit of it. So I think we waited 3 years and did it again, and it really is the same thing by Jeff Cavins. He changed the name of it, Unlocking the Mystery of the Bible, but it has the timeline. And we just feel like it would be worthwhile to repeat it periodically. So what have we got planned for this fall?
Oh, for this fall. We are going to do another study, and this is going to be the study titled Jesus, the Way, the Truth, and the Life. And this is a study by Marcelino Di Ambrosio, Jeff Cavins, and Dr. Ed Shree. And it's interesting, we think we know a whole lot about Jesus because we've read the 4 Gospels, we've heard the 4 Gospels in church, over and over, but they say this is going to be a new and fresh look at Jesus. It's going to be tell us who he is, what he is really like, what he taught, and what he did for our salvation. So this is going to be a very interesting study, and it was also filmed in the Holy Land, so this is going to give us some real insights and some visuals that maybe we don't have in our experience in life. So this also has a timeline for Jesus' life, which would be very interesting to have. And talking about Jesus, it brings to mind when I was a child, I always had a lot of questions about Jesus. Why did Jesus come 2,000 years ago? Why didn't he just come now? You know, we could really use him now. And of course, with all the media, we would hear his message and we could pass it on. It would be much easier. And then he wouldn't have been crucified. You know, as a child, I always thought, well, he wouldn't have to suffer so much. But of course, I have a better understanding now of Jesus and who he was. And I even think he was such a radical. You know, how did that story of Jesus talking about loving God ever spread, or how did he do it? So I go back to, I like to tell the story about what I learned about John the Apostle. John the Apostle, when we studied his gospel, I read about his life, and it's interesting. Here's my story. John, his brother was James the Great, and they were from Bethsaida, and Peter and Andrew were also from Bethsaida. So it's most likely that they knew each other, and that they maybe had studied together, and maybe they were followers of John the Baptist. Interesting fact is Salome is John's mother. Salome was also Mary's sister. If you follow me, that means John the Apostle, Mary was his aunt, and Jesus was his cousin. Mm-hmm. So what does that tell me, looking at that? Jesus went to his friends and his family. He went to those people that would support him in his ministry, that would help him. And then how does that relate to me? So I look at, how am I talking about Jesus to my family and my friends? Do I rely on them to live a life of Christ in my life? So it's helped me just to think about those, knowing that that's how Jesus did it, so we can follow in his ways. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
This is going to be really to learn more about Jesus, and I look through and I'm finding that things that I didn't know we're going to be exposed to. So we're really hoping that people will join us. But what's our next study?
Well, after that, we've got another really good one.
Yeah.
It's the first 500 years. It's our early church history. And it's going to talk about the early church fathers and the councils and how they developed the doctrines of the early church. And we believe these same doctrines 2,000 years later. So this history is important. And the people we're going to be talking about are St. Clement of Rome and Irenaeus and Ignatius and Polycarp and Constantine and St. Augustine. I'm just really looking forward to it a lot.
It's exciting. Yeah.
And as excited as I am about everything, sometimes I'm a little bit sad that I wish I had started my Bible study a lot earlier in my life. I waited till my children were out of the home, and if I had been doing it when I was still raising them, I would have made the Bible a much more important part of their lives.
Yeah.
So.
I agree. So we invite all of you to join us, all the women of the parish, to join us for our Bible study. All of our studies will be online this year. We meet on Friday via Zoom, 9:30 to 11:30. Our format for the program is we begin with the Rosary, and then we have a DVD that will show, and then there's group discussion. And I realize that much of what we learned is we learned from the discussion of other ladies and how we related to our lives. So anything else? Did we forget anything else?
No, I think we've got a...
No. The only thing we won't
Lot
have
to
this
look
year
forward
that
to.
we did last year is snacks. You're going to be on your own for snacks.
No snacks.
And yes, we might have a little break, but yes, it's going to be good. And also, in the last few years, I've tried to study more than just reading the Bible, and I've come across many books, and we pass some of those resources on to other people in the class. So my intention is to put a list of resources. If you're interested in the Bible, if you'd like some of the resources to learn on your own, you can do that. You also can get this book, and that you also have access to the videos. So if you can't come with us on Friday mornings, you can actually get this program and look and view it at home on your own if you'd like. All right, we thank you very much for listening, and hopefully we'll see you at Bible study. And I've also wanted to mention that at Nativity Parish here, we have 7 different Bible studies. So if you would like to, you can go onto the website and find out, and find a Bible study that would suit you the best. Thank you.